If you're a fan of anime, tabletop gaming, or both, don't miss an episode of Heathendog's Heathen Dogma. Each week, Heathendog alternates between anime reviews and tabletop gaming fundamentals. Watch live and chat with Heathendog every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central to share your thoughts and recommendations with him. Now, without further ado, everyone raise out your hands. Raise out your hands and place them on the screen in front of you, my friends. If you're holding your screen, that is excellent. I want to place your hands on the screen. My hands are placed as well. We're hand-to-hand contact, my friends. And right now, I feel it. I feel it streaming through, my friends. The vibrations, the sympathetic waves going between us, my friends. As from that, we all gather one, my friends. Our consciousness have joined together, for I feel the love coming through you, my friend. Through your hands, through our hands, we touch together around the world, joining all of us into one consciousness that could bring love and faith to the entire flames of passion of the world, my friends. And with that, we can solve injustice, we can solve hatred and crime, or with that power, we can attain greater heights. We can go to places that no one has even dreamed of. We can ascend past our mortal shells into that which all of us crave, that being Heathendog's Tabletop RPG Fundamentals.
Oh, wait, we're done. Okay.
Woo! Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Subscribe, my friends.
Oh, already.
Everyone, bow your heads in payment and subscribe.
Oh, wow. No, don't do that. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone, for dropping by. Today, we're going to start making a character for Numenera Discovery. Now, this is going to be easier than you think.
Is it now?
It is. The system itself is pretty, I don't want to say unique, because pretty unique is not proper English, but it's different. So wrapping your head around it, for me, at least, was a little difficult. But the character generation is very straightforward, very intuitive, and you're going to have a good time doing it.
All right.
So
I'll take your
first,
word on that.
there you go. First, let's look at all the particulars for this book. Published on October 17, 2018 from Monty Cook Games. And you can get yours from various resellers, Amazon, DriveThruRPG, and eBay for these various prices. Obviously, I would stay away from Amazon on this one.
Yeah, it's a little pricier than the others.
Yeah, a little pricier than everybody else, you know. Yeah, that's the way it is. So,
My fault. Wait, I didn't mean to. What did I do?
that's right. He got you.
Oh,
Mind games. Mind games. All right. First, let's go through the steps we need to create a character. These are the first 3 steps. This is part 1, mind you. First 3 steps.
Oh,
you
he's got a baby face hugger.
Oh, there you go. You have to choose your character type. All right, glaive, nano, or jack. Now, if you want to get a little brief description of all of these, it's going to be a little bit greater detail than right here. Then, actually, I will put a card above my head to the video where I discuss the system. I go into a little bit more detail on it. And then for each one, we roll or choose a background, something that happened in your past or connects you to the party, something that you can build your character around. After that, we have our character descriptor. This is your vision. Now, for example, let's say you're a nano. Not every nano is a book nerd, always afraid of a fight, runs away at the drop of a hat. No, there's different ways to play your support character. You know, and this descriptor gives you that feeling of differentness than every other nano on the block. And after that, we get your character focus. Now, this one is what makes you unique, because this focus literally has to be different than everybody else's focus in your party. What is a focus? Well, it gives you, it's a specialty, a special power that you possess that not only sets you apart from everybody else, but gives you specialist abilities added on to what you already get from your type.
So everyone's unique and special?
In this one way. Everyone has one thing they can do better than other people. You know, even if it's just something that's not super useful, it's still something.
Someone has to be good at the cup and ball game.
Exactly. You know, like, hey, in cup and ball competitions.
That's right. You're the master.
You're raking in the money, right? You're in the money every time. But rest of your life, probably not so much.
The world is doomed unless you could reactivate the fuse. Oh my God, it looks like a cup and ball. It's my time, gentlemen.
Get Melvin! Melvin, get in here! All right. So, step 1, character type. You got to choose your type. Glaive, nano, and jack. Now, Glaive is a warrior framework. Nano is a support framework, and Jack is a support plus. Now, if you want to equate them to something you've already played, say D&D, Glaive would be your fighter, your fighter with all the subclasses, Cavalier, Barbarian, Paladin, whatever, all grouped into there. And Nano would be your cleric or magic user, and Jack would be your thief acrobat, bard, stuff like that. They're support, but they also do other stuff.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
Okay.
Now, is it possible for the glaive to get the glaive from Kroll? That's a question in the chat. It's important.
That is awesome. Yes, they do have ranged weapons, and this thing is really open. The game master has the ability to insert takeaway weapons at choice. So yes,
Excellent.
you can get a glaive from Krull, which is an awesome movie, by the way. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I love it. And as a matter of fact, because of the idea of Numenera, it can have a gravity control device in it, so you can throw it and it will come back.
Ooh, I like it already.
Yes. Now, I'm choosing Glaive.
All right.
Because I want to be a fighter type. So that's my choice. Now, this is what happens when you choose a Glaive. Glaives all have the same initial stats. Might, speed, and intelligence, 11, 10, and 7. Now, if you watched my system review, you know that average is between 9 and 12. So might and speed in the beginning are on the high end of average, where intellect is below average. But everyone gets to add 6 points to any of these stat pools that they want, however they want. You could add all 6 to might. You could add all 6 to intelligence, all 6 speed, or divide any way you like. It depends on what you want to be. Do you want to be a fast-footed fighter, like say you want to be an unarmed martial artist, Bruce Lee? Well, you might want to put everything into speed. You'll
Makes
go
sense.
first.
Makes sense.
You'll move. You get better movement. You get everywhere, all blurry and stuff. It's all cool looking. Or do you want to be a berserker? Dump it all into might. Just go in there and hack and slash. You can do that too. Or do you want to have some in intelligence to be the tactical fighter, the guy who has a plan before the fight and goes and executes the plan, and then executes the enemies? I went mostly with might. All right. I dumped 4 points into might to bring it to 15, well above the average maximum of 12. But I didn't want to be dumb. And being below average intelligence, I don't know what your mommy told you, but that means you're dumb. So I brought it up to the minimum of average intelligence. I did not feel comfortable role-playing a character that's dumb right off the bat when I haven't played the system before. That's just the way I see it. Okay.
You're always buying the extended warranties in electronics. It never works out well.
Never works out well. That's right. So after that, you look at what the glaive type gives you at tier 1. Now, they don't have levels in this game. They have tiers from 1 to 6. And
right.
You spend your experience points to increase your abilities. When you spend enough experience points to go from one tier to another, you advance, and then you immediately get the abilities. Now, we're not worried about that. This is generation, not advancement. So we're looking at the tier 1 abilities. So every glaive tier 1 gets these abilities. 1, effort of 1. Now, effort. Well, no, I'm gonna throw you back to the where I explain the system. I explain effort. Might and speed edge. That I'll give you a little hint. That increases the effectiveness of your effort. Combat prowess. You get a +1 to either melee or ranged attacks. Now that's +1 damage to either melee or ranged attacks. Now I'm choosing melee, as you can see in the bottom right. I chose melee. Cipher use. Ciphers are the technological marvels that you can find in the world of Numenera from past civilizations. I get to use 2 at a time as a glaive. That's not a lot. Nanos get to use much more because they're more into that stuff. Armor training. While wearing armor, I am trained in it. So when I use a speed effort, I get a -1 to my use of a speed effort because I'm not encumbered by it. I'm trained. And I can use any weapon. Any weapon at all. I can pick it up and I'm competent in it.
Nope,
I don't get any
nice.
minuses for any weapon. And I get to choose a free physical skill, so something that I'm considered trained in. I get to choose between balancing, climbing, jumping, or swimming. I chose jumping. I almost chose swimming because whenever you have a character who can't swim, the GM loves to throw you in the water.
Fair enough.
That is not metaphorical. That's literal. Loves throwing in the water. But because I am a glaive, I can never become competent or trained in understanding, salvaging, or crafting Numenera. Someone else has to do it for me. Tell me what it does. All right. Now I can figure it out. And I can do it.
You can't make the gun, you can shoot the gun.
Exactly. It's just not my wheelhouse. Fine. Okay. And I get to choose between several fighting moves. Aggression, fleet of foot, impressive display, misdirect, no need for weapons, and trained without armor. Now, all of these give you different attack options. Aggression gives you better damage. Fleet of foot gives you better defense. Impressive display is very much like the Earth Dawn Swordmaster ability of doing something super cool and then getting interaction bonuses with everyone. It's exactly like that.
Sounds good.
I chose misdirect. Now misdirect, it's misdirect attack. What it is if you successfully defend against an attack, I can use my misdirect ability to change the vector of your swing to hit anything else I want that you can hit, like your buddy. So you hit your buddy instead of me. I like that.
That's good for you, yes.
That is good for me. So I chose that. That was good. All right, so after we've done all of the just glaive type stuff, that's all the glaive type powers and abilities I get for being a glaive and for being glaive tier 1. Next is the connections, the background role. Okay, this gives your character a simple background to work from. All right, you can choose your own, you can make your own, but I believe you should roll and then build your character around it. My fault says I had it. The X got it. Oh, I pretty much gave it. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. So each character type has their own background chart to roll on. So it's not all the same. If you're a glaive type, you roll on this chart. If you're a nano type, there's another chart that's more nano oriented. And same thing for Jack. Now, all of these things are useful with a little bit of cleverness. They're not immediately useful. They don't give any bonuses or minuses to rolls or stats or whatever. But here, as an example, number 5. You trained in an isolated monastery far away. The monks think of you as a brother, but you're a stranger to all others. That means no one in the world really knows you. But if you had to call upon some people who would have your back right away, it would be the monks in this monastery. You call them for help, they have your back. You're their brother.
That'd be more of like if you're close to the monastery.
Well,
or,
yeah,
or you have a place to crash, if nothing else.
Yeah, exactly. If you need a place to hide out, guess what? The monks are gonna secret you there, and they're gonna keep you safe. Right?
Well, so if you go to Cheers, they won't know your name. No, the monastery is Cheers. You have to go there.
Yes, you have to go there.
Because that's where they know your name.
There you go. Glaive! You're like, okay, fine. Now, I rolled former constable. All right, and that is number 10. You worked as a constable. Everyone knows you, but their opinions of you vary. You know, people who I've protected from bad guys love me. Bad guys whom I've arrested hate me. That's just the way it is. So both me and the game master can build my character around this background fact. All right, and you do that with all of your characters at the beginning. Now,
some of these are pretty interesting.
Yeah. Now that is the primary things you have to do when you choose your type. Now we're going.
This one says. Your mentor wrote a book on martial arts. Sometimes other warriors seek you out to ask about it stranger passages. That can be fun. I like it's not they don't seek you out to fight you to check it. They ask you questions like, Harry said you must find the darkness without and confront it with the leopard skin purse of madness. What does that mean?
What does that mean? And then you got to make up something or know it or something. You got to like, I have to ponder that.
He's half insane. When you know them. Anyway, sorry.
That's okay. Next, we go to your character descriptor. This is what kind of type you are, what kind of glaive I'm going to be. And as you can see, a charming glaive might be very much like a cavalier or a swordmaster in Earth Dawn. A rugged glaive would be a barbarian. You know, like this kind of fleshes you out more. And each choice, each descriptor comes with a set of skills, abilities, and so on. solely gained by choosing this kind of character. Not all of them are good, but the one I chose was intelligent.
All right.
Okay,
Because you have average intelligence.
I'm going for the tactical soldier. Now, a tactical soldier does not have to be smart. He has to be trained. With enough training, you can simulate high intelligence.
Fair
But
enough.
afterward, I saw that, oh, when you pick intelligent, these are the things you get. A +2 to your intelligence pool. So I went from 9 to 11. I went from the lowest end of average to toward the high end of average just by picking this descriptor. I get an extra knowledge skill I get to choose at tier 1 when I'm finished. When I get to the skill portion of this character generation, I get to pick an extra one, and I'm considered trained in recalling things I've read or personally experienced. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that if I've read a book on the local dangers in the area, I have a bonus to roll in the field to recognize these dangers before they happen. Like I'm going to an area that has these nano frogs that jump in your mouth and try and take over your brain.
Sounds nice.
Well, they only live in this certain area, this certain marshland area. And when we come up to a marshland area, I'm like, whoa, hang on a second. I remember reading about nano frogs. Everyone close your mouths. Pro tip. Close your mouths. Yeah, stuff like that. And of course, anything you've experienced, like if you go through a maze and you successfully get to the other side, and now you have to run back through the maze to get out, you know the way. You've memorized the way. You're not going to get lost.
Sounds good.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, okay, great. All right. So we've got the descriptor. Now we're going to go for the focus.
Yeah.
Now, this is where you stand out. Of not only of your type, but of everyone else in your group, because no two PCs should have the same focus. That's a GM instruction in the book. You better have a really good reason for two characters to have the same focus. If they're like twins, maybe they'll have the same focus. But this focus is either supernatural or so high tech that it borders on being supernatural. All right. For example, bears a halo of fire. Guess what?
Well, that's nice.
You have a halo of fire, and all of the trials and tribulations that come with that. You have mental powers. You focus over mind over matter. You howl at the moon. This is that I can actually read that if you want. It's not fun. You're a murderer. You rage. This is for the berserker barbarian type of glaive. You would choose
that
rage.
That doesn't sound good.
Well, raging's good for a fight, just not afterward when you got to calm the guy down. But each of these foci give you ability, skills, and even equipment at start. You can even specialized equipment from these things. These focus powers increase over time as your tier increases. As you learn to use your focus better and better, you get new powers, or powers you've already possessed will become stronger. Now, any character type can choose any focus unless the focus otherwise stipulates not in its description. So like, oh, glaives can never take this. Okay, then I can't take that one. But that's only a couple of them. They don't really, they're like, oh, they're divided into thirds. A third of them in a third. No, they're not. They're not. So, you can have stuff that's usually reserved for a nano or a jack. You can have it as a glaive or vice versa. It's fine. Now, what did I choose? I chose Master's Weaponry.
That sounds
Reason
nice.
being, I was going for the tactical soldier, so and plus my misdirect would only be helped if I use my weapons more effectively. So there you go. Now, what does it mean? You've worked long and hard with one particular type of weapon. For me, I'm going to use swords. Thus, you are an archer, a swordsman, an axe master, whatever. A master of the rapier is a different master of Warhammer. You fight differently. You might have a symbol of your school, a badge, a pin, a key, or whatever. Yeah, that's basically it. Now, what do you get for that? At tier 1, remember, you get more or powers go up as you raise in tier. You gain a high quality weapon of your choice. You gain a high quality weapon of whatever you decided to master in. Like me, it would be a sword. I gain for free, instead of a normal quality sword, it's upgraded to a high quality sword, which gives you bonuses in combat and bonuses for its durability, stuff like that. You get a +1 damage with your chosen weapon. Now, if you remember, I'm a glaive. I get a +1 damage for melee combat anyway. So now it's a total of +2 as long as I'm using my special sword, my special high quality weapon. And I'm trained in crafting and repairing my chosen weapon. That's not just my high quality weapon. That's all swords in my case. I can not only make them, I can hone them, I can repair them, I can do everything that needs to make and maintain the weapon of my choice. Now you get more skills and abilities as you go up in tier. It starts to get ridiculous when you get to tier 6, but hey, when you're max level, you're supposed to be a little ridiculous, right?
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
That's just how it works. Now, let's see what we got so far. Let's add it up. My glaive power and abilities. I have a +1 damage to melee. I'm trained in jumping, and I have the misdirect ability. My stat pools are 15, 10, and 11. Remember, I get a +2 for the intellect descriptor. I'm the intelligent glaive who masters weapons. With that descriptor, I get the extra knowledge skill, and I get eidetic memory. And of course, with the master's weapons focus, I gain the high quality weapon. I get another +1 damage with my chosen weapon, which is swords, and I'm trained in crafting and repairing my chosen weapon, which is swords. There you go. Now, we've gone through the first 2/3 of character generation. Now, what we're going to do next time is skills and equipment. The reason I'm not doing now, because skills, here's a little sneak peek. Skills are whatever you want them to be. All right. There is a set of skill examples, but you and the GM can actually make skills on your own.
You just make up your own skills?
You can make up your own skills. You have to flesh them out, when they work, when they don't work, in what situations, stuff like that. So it's a little more involved and will take a lot more time. All right. And then afterward, we get equipment. And with that, we have to talk about all of the Numenera. We have to talk about ciphers. We have to talk about artifacts. We have to talk about all kinds of stuff. And that's gonna take a lot of time, more time than I have in this segment right now. So it's not going to be next week. It's going to be the week after. Maybe not even then. Wow. Because my vacation is really screwing up my streaming schedule.
That's true.
But the next time I do Numenera, it will be skills and equipment for my character. And we're going to really, really go deep into skills and, of course, deep into equipment, because it's a little, explaining them is a little complicated. Getting them, not. Explaining them, a little complicated. So, all right. That is my tabletop gaming fundamentals for the first part, character generation, for Numenera Discovery. So, what did you think of this segment? What did I miss? I know I purposefully omitted a lot of the background hooks that you get from choosing a glaive type and choosing a descriptor and choosing a focus. I purposely omitted that because it really doesn't need to be explained. It's explained very well in the one paragraph each time. So, what are your thoughts on Numenera Discovery? I mean, if you've watched the system explanation and you've watched part 1 of the character generation, what do you think of the system so far? And do you have any suggestions for my next tabletop RPG? There's a line, I think. There's a line behind it. Max Liao is really trying to push Cyberpunk 2077.
That's a
when it finally
video
happens.
Game, not a tabletop.
Apparently there's a tabletop, or 2020 or 20, something like that. There's a tabletop game getting a revision or coming out or something that's Cyberpunk related, and it's coming out soon. So he really wants me to do that one. So whatever. Okay.
Fair enough.
But hey, but if you get in before the wire, then Bob's your uncle. You're a winner.
Indeed.
And of course, if you have anything to say, you can comment in chat, or you can comment on Discord, links below, and Twitter. The Twitter handle is below.
All right, thank you to everyone. If you like Heathendog, you can find more Heathendog on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. To get more Heathendog anime on the stream segments, anime, tabletop, gaming, fundamental segments. Those are different things. Anime. Sometimes, well, you have done anime games. Oh, it's Cyberpunk 2020. That's an old system. I have that.
I think there's supposed to be some kind of remake or revamp or something. I'm not entirely certain because it's not out yet. So
yeah,
I'm not entirely certain about that.
team-up segments, usually with that Garthon Cat and other people, and selected video game streams. You can join to get full screens, animes, comics, game reviews, members-only chat giveaways, monthly Q&As, Legionofmyth, and it counts towards your Patreon giveaway goals. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Remember, be a Legionnaire.